The Padres sweep the Braves in the wild card series, and now it's on to the big bad Dodgers. Can the Padres slay the dragon again? We'll talk about all of that and more on this episode of Padres Talking Padres. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Padres Talking Padres, your favorite Padres podcast hosted exclusively by fathers. My name is Jay, and with us is Jack, and the good luck charm, Jerry. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. I didn't recognize it was Jack. Yeah, it's not stress level. It's not.
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah, whatever. It's Jack. Yeah,
he's just living.
Just living the dream, man.
Living the dream,
man.
Yeah, I was a little upset with you, Jerry, that you didn't go to the game yesterday.
When it started to get close, I was like, if it goes to 3, you got to go back. I'm sorry.
I don't care if you want to or not.
I only had so much room under that home equity loan, So
I don't care. Sell a kidney. Get your ass to that game.
Are you committed or not?
Hey, 4-0, man. You know what? Even when I went to the game, the first game, I was like, man, am I pressing my luck? Am I pressing my luck here? But yeah, 4-0 this year. Yeah. Best year for me ever, by far.
But it's funny because yesterday I think we all had the same. I think everybody in San Diego, everybody at the stadium, the players, Joe Musgrove's just mowing them down. He's just mowing them down. Yeah. The game had a nice flow to it.
Yeah.
And then there's that you see Higgy come out and you see, okay, what's going on? Why is this long meeting? Of course, I was about a minute behind you guys.
You were so behind the regular feed.
I tried to speed up that, but you do what you can when you don't when you have to do what you have to do to watch the game. So I was like going, oh, and it just, I felt it. It's like, even though some people on Padre Twitter are like, it's okay, we have Darvish. No, it's not okay. Yeah. You want to have 4 solid pitchers going, but Padre fans are new to playoffs. But the game just kind of came to a screech. I mean, it was like it just was us, treading water, trying to hold on where the Braves were chipping away. And when Adams gave up that 2-run homer, I'm like, oh my God, no. But because he's been so reliable.
I love this perspective of Jack right now. I don't want to get to Jerry's, but just keep going, Jack.
Anyway, but I had a little more confidence in Suarez, I think, than you did, Jay. I
was like, nope, it's over. They're bringing in Suarez. Just call it now.
I'll give Schultz credit. I mean, it might be too soon to do it, but he stuck with them.
They're still hitting him hard. They didn't leave the yard yesterday.
He's not striking people out, but he's at least throwing more pitches. He has them off balance. So, because even in that final play where Solano and Higgy are going, I wasn't so much worried about them dropping the ball. Well, I was, but then I was also worried about them getting hurt.
Sure.
Because it was so loud they couldn't hear either one. But it all worked out. But hopefully his first test, I guess, came back negative. They're doing the MRI, and we have to wait and see.
So it's a different thing from the bone spurs. And they say, or I think Musgrove said today, since they pulled him early, he thinks hopefully he can get back within this postseason, which would be amazing if that turned out to be true.
And it could be too. You've been out. You've been dealing with this for what, a year? Into last season, most of this season. When you start to feel something, you start to panic. I mean, I think we all do. It's like, well, that's my arm. What's I'm a pitcher. What's going on? So hopefully he can come back because he's been money. And I think that game would have been 5-1 finale yesterday. Finally, I mean,
he was cruising.
I'm starting to think. I go, okay, he can go at least 7 because I'm a pitch count guy. But anyway, we won the game. We won the series.
Jerry, what was your perspective yesterday? Were you a stress level 10?
And probably unreasonably so. I just never felt worried. Even when Adams gave up the 2-run homer, I just it's going to happen. I texted you guys, hey, that's sometimes, that's our most reliable reliever. I think I was saying that to prove a point that no matter how reliable a guy is, he's still got an ERA, which means he's given up runs at some point.
Sure.
any of our pitchers, that you watched last night, they can't live the waist up. They just, there was too much of that,
Mm-hmm.
Well, that homer was that pitch was right down.
Yeah, so I mean, you just can't make your mistakes up there. You got to make your mistakes down low, outside, inside, things like that. But hey, control is sometimes a little erratic, and I was ready for Suarez to come in. I knew he was coming in, and I was glad he was coming in. He had those two or three rough outings, but he's corrected the ship. Jay, you're right. I mean, they hit a couple of balls hard, but the bottom line is they're not barreling up to the point where they're getting it out, and look, I guess I just live in a world that's like, I'd never expect any pitcher, no matter how dominant they are, to come in and just strike everybody out. Nobody ever fouls a pitch off and things like that.
I'd be happy.
Why can't they all be like Michael King in Game 1?
Well,
why is that too much to
tell
ask?
you what,
I was seeing that in person. How was seeing that in person?
Well, I tell you what, the excitement, the noise, the adrenaline was top notch, but I had to come home and look at the replay to see how much movement he had on the ball, because
it was
we were sitting on the third base left field side, had a great seats, but as far as the high and the low and all that, but you can't see the inside, the outside, and the movement of the pitches. I could only tell by the way the batters were swinging that they had no clue where it was at. Yeah. You could just see some flailing out there, like they had no clue where the ball was going. And then to go see it from what you guys saw, the TV perspective, that sweeper was moving like 3-4 feet. I mean, it was crazy.
He struck out someone. The ball had to be 4 feet out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Somebody did they put 2 strike zones in between where the batter was to where the ball was. That was the distance.
It was outrageous. But yeah, just the adrenaline and the excitement. Been to a lot of Padre games even lately, and it was just up a notch. There's always been a lot of excitement, but I give kudos to the local casino that gave out the towels. I think it added an effect that was a little debilitating. You get that in your batter's eye, and you see it. When you're up there, and the fans are waving these things. I don't know how it can't affect a little bit of your psyche. And,
plus it's so loud.
Yeah. I couldn't hardly hear anything. Tammy, my wife, was sitting 2 seats from me. Between her grandson was between us, and I kept telling her, I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. So it was great. It's just a great experience, and I would tell anybody, if your team makes the playoffs, just find a way to pony up and go to one. Even it's just a different experience. It really is.
Well, Baltimore didn't sell out their seats. Their stadium,
which is wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. And you could talk about all the other games, I guess, but that was wild to me to see that ball, because honestly, one of the best away ball game experiences I've had is going to Camden Yards, because the fans were so knowledgeable, also really kind, like really. Yeah. It was a Padres Orioles game, and like, oh, it's your first time at Camden Yards. Oh, you gotta do this, and they're just very welcoming. And so it's shocking to me that they didn't sell out. It's not a very big ballpark.
Well, the Diamondbacks didn't sell out last year.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me, because it's too big, I think, for that market, and it's just, I don't know, baseball isn't as prevalent, or maybe I don't know. Like, what is with Arizona not selling out?
A lot of transits. I mean, a lot of
So San Diego's a trans.
But San Diego's, they've been there for 50.
Yeah.
I mean, you're starting to get generations. I mean, look at our family.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're starting to get.
Sometimes it's the brand. Sometimes it's the brand of baseball that you play. Sometimes people find it more exciting. San Diego State Aztecs here. The Steve Fisher with the basketball. It didn't take right away, because people are like, defense. It's boring to watch. But then after about 3 or 4 years of winning, you start saying, hey, I kind of like watching that defense, right? Yeah. So, you got your teams that are excited to watch because your pitchers are just totally shut down. And sometimes you got, like the Phillies, where it's just home run after home run after home run. And, we have the Padres in that batting average, getting, putting the ball in play, moving people around, so.
Well, you got exciting players too.
I think a lot of it's just your brand of playing and how much people buy into it. Because if you show success in any way you play the game, you're going to draw fans.
But also,
so it's consistency.
I also, we said it before, the Padres, especially once the Chargers left, say, okay, we got to make this about the city.
Yeah.
We got to make
Seidler.
We got to include the fans because the Chargers never did that. The Chargers were always the Spanos family was always our team. Whereas the Padres, they were smart. They took the mistakes that the Chargers made, and of course Seidler wanted to win, and he wanted to win.
Yeah,
he wanted a parade for the city of San Diego.
Yeah, but it's not just but I think what Seidler got was it's about the community, and it's actually Buster Posey who's taken over the Giants. I thought he articulated it really well. Where like being a steward of a sports franchise is you're selling memories, and having players that you can love and follow and experience these and you carry that with you forever. And it's like that is what we should be doing, which is creating memories that you carry with you.
I think that's a good point, Jay. I hadn't heard Posey say that. I was kind of curious about him moving in. I don't know what his front office experience is, but I will agree with that. And here's to me the San Diego version of that. You needed a Tony Gwynn. You needed a Trevor Hoffman. You need iconic players invested in your team and in your memories and length of service and things like that to identify with your team.
Yeah.
If you just become this revolving door of free agents moving in, moving out, because we lost ourselves, I think, for a while there. When you look at the Klesko, the Hosmers, the Will Myers, the Phil Nevins, and all that, there were some good teams in there, but nobody could relate to them because it was just a new team every year. And who are these guys? And you never got attached to them. And I think Seidler saw that.
Or if you did get attached, they were gone in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I think Seidler saw that. I mean, bringing Machado in, and I think, you hear conversation about Machado, it's kind of like, are you building something here, or am I just a piece coming in? And Seidler said, no, we're building something here. And then to sign Tatis to the long-term contract and go get Bogarts. People now have linchpins of players that they know that for the next 5 to 10 years, they're going to see these guys all the time.
Yep.
And you as a fan, you want to invest in that. I want my team to be good, but I don't want to open up the scorebook at the beginning of the year and go, okay, who are these guys? Like I know that guy and that guy, but who are the rest of these guys? Where'd we get them from?
It's the opening to Major League where they're just like,
exactly. There's some truth in that movie,
Yes,
really is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I think that was always my argument with the large market teams, because I said I go, yeah, but you have the same players. You don't lose your stars.
Yeah.
I go San Diego for the longest time. I was like you're saying, Jake Peavy. I love Jake. He's gone. It's just like
Adrian Gonzalez.
Adrian Gonzalez. Yeah. It's that. Oh, he's gone, and he's a local player too. I mean, so. But like I said, they some of the long-term contracts, we can argue whether they should have done it or not. But I think overall, that because they mentioned it on the broadcast last night, they said something about these players are here, like a Cronenworth and Machado and Tatis and because I think they were talking about Merrill. They're going to have
Merrill is the only one that came out of our farm system.
Yeah, but they were saying Merrill. They're talking about long-term contracts. They're definitely going to lock this guy up because he's Mr. Excitement. I mean, we'll have to do it now, but Well,
it was kind of cool. I don't know if you saw one of the post game in the clubhouse, champagne's flowing, whatever. And Merrill's like, "I love it here. I love San Diego. I love the Padres. I want to play here for the rest of my life."
Yeah,
and
well, it makes it a lot easier.
But he's also 21 years old.
Exactly. Take with a grain of salt,
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The agent will get a hold of him and say, "Well, you could."
But to me, what they said this on the broadcast. They said it both nights, and I heard. I think they even mentioned it on Sunday's local broadcast. But on Saturday, when he was going to sit because they clinched on Friday. He got up really early and went to the Arizona complex to meet the new young players in the minor leagues, right? Yeah. And like Jackson Merrill, the player, is special what he does on the field, but like it's those little things that, like, again, as a 21-year-old, you just don't see that normally.
There's some maturity in the way he talks, because about a couple of months ago when they were talking about rookie of the year and, you know, breaking records and things like that. And he goes, you know, we got a lot of good players coming up behind me. I hope they break my record.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like this guy's, I mean, you know, at first you kind of like, oh, okay, you know, but I think that's really the way he is. He is a team first player. That it's like, I don't care if it's me, I don't care who it is. I just want to win.
You're
and,
like,
he's having fun. You know, he's having fun, and he's very respectful of other teams. It's like, this is a ball game, man. They're a good team. We're a good team. We're going to go out there and, you know, do our best. And you know, and I think he gets it. You know, it's a game. I'm getting paid well to play it. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's not disrespectful. It's just excitement and getting to play a game.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I honestly believe he doesn't care about Rookie of the Year.
I honestly don't care.
I think we care a lot more about it than he does.
I care about it from getting the extra draft pick perspective. I don't necessarily care about the award. It'd be nice to get an extra draft pick because
I give it to Skeens and piss him off. I really honestly I don't care about awards. I've told you guys that before. It's just it's a vote. You know, it's not a statistical analysis. It's not a formula. It's just a vote. And, you know, all my years of working, I've worked on diversity councils and things like that. It's bias. It's within everybody. It's whether or not you act on it. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I will call it out. There is an East Coast bias.
Yeah.
Face it. There always will be. They don't see our games. They you know, it's too late for them. So they see replays. They don't see the ins and outs. There's just an East Coast bias. And they're going to give it to him, and you know what? So be it. I would rather have Merrill than Skeens.
Oh, absolutely.
I take the
going forward. Yep.
As good as Skeens is.
Yeah, one dominant pitcher does not replace 162 games.
We'll have him We'll have him in 5 years.
that's you know, and I feel talking about like locking down, you know, your all-star players or whatever. It's as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, like the best you got is Rookie of the Year because you know they're either going to trade him with a year or so left to try and get more pieces, or he's just going to sign somewhere else anyway. You know. Well,
the other thing is I look at it two ways too. Kind of to your point about the draft picks and all that, Jay.
And I get
Mike that
is saying this too of the awards.
They get I'm sure there's some money in it. But my big thing is it's a pitcher and. You know, I get nervous. We've talked about it before. Even having Darvish and Musgrove on these 5-year contracts, man. You know, it's not my money, but I just sit there and just like, oh my gosh, are they going to make it? You know, are they going to? You know, what arm injury?
Long-term contracts.
We went through the Drew Pomerantz thing. You know, where it's like, okay, in 5 years of contract, we got maybe the equivalent of a half a year out of the guy, right?
Maybe.
I sit here and I look at Paul Skeens for all his wonder, and again, this is not a knockdown on Paul Skeens, but you look at his log: 5 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, an occasional 7, 5 innings. Yeah, dominating for 5 innings.
Yeah.
So
because he's not going through the third time in the order.
Yeah. So you know, is that going to me increase? Probably, but to what degree? And then when you start looking at, you know, well, does that mean he's going to have to come up with another pitch? Because as we've learned from Suarez, you throw it 100 miles an hour enough, everybody starts jacking up and saying, okay, I think I can hit that.
So can I just say, and I think Mike's calling this out too on the pitching, the inning limitation. Like I think it was Brian Kenny, who I'm not a fan of, on MLB Now or whatever on the MLB Network. They had to pick the Rookie of the Year, and one guy picked Merrill, and he picked Skeens. He's like, look at how he took out Soto and Judge. It's like he only faced them once. It was 2 innings. He only pitched 2. He didn't even make it through the order once.
Right.
Like I get that he's a great young pitcher. But that he's not actually doing the full starting. They're holding him back, and you let Judge and Soto go another, like a second time looking at you, or maybe a third time looking at you. It's going to be a different thing,
and it's going to be different for Merrill too, because you know we've talked about this rookie-itis or whatever you want to call it, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter.
Slump.
Yeah. Well, they do film, they do video, they start breaking you down a little bit more, they start realizing your weaknesses and things like that. Look at Corbin Carroll, the way he started this year.
Yeah.
Now I give him credit, he came back, But I mean, he was hitting a $190 when I was in Phoenix. I mean, he was down like hitting 8th in the lineup, So there's adjustments that need to be made. And look, I'm going to say this thing about Merrill. He's going to have to make some adjustment. Jackson's going to have to, get
Is that your
through
chair?
the offseason.
Are you squeaking like that?
That's Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
That's my body.
Yeah, it's the body.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like interrupting his flow here. Go ahead, Jerry. Sorry.
But let's also get past the stats and look at how clutch Jackson has been.
Absolutely.
But I mean, that's got to be part of the equation because, again, no disrespect to Paul Skeen, but he has not closed out a game yet. He has not pitched a game in which he had to, go through the order to win the game. Jackson Merrill
and no pressure
tying or go ahead home runs in the 8th inning or past 5. Like that's incredible. Like to have that opportunity is one thing, but to come through that many times is incredible. So forget the Rookie of the Year award. I'll take Jackson Merrill just for that.
Plus the defense.
Yeah.
The last out from or the first out in the 9th inning on the
Soler.
109 miles off the bat. He clearly he had to kind of catch up to the ball. And he made that play. Like that's not an easy play for any center fielder.
He has the speed and the ability to catch
his reaction after he did it.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh,
that ball was hit hard."
They don't hit like that in AAA.
Let's talk about. I think the MVP. I know that we don't do MVP of the wild card series, but can we talk about Kyle Higashioka with the big stroker, big home runs in both games? I love this chart that Terrible Padres Memes does with the Higgy Bank tracker. But Michael King. I mean, you look at the Soto trade and its impact for both teams, right? I think both teams it worked out, right?
Yeah, it was a win
Soto,
for both
he's
teams.
Perfect for them. But if you look at King and his dominance in Game 1, and then Kyle Higashioka, I believe it was
it's up to 20 now.
Was it Mike Koki or I can't remember the guy's Twitter. He was just like, I'm getting Jim Leyritz vibes from Higgy right now, or Carlos Hernandez, like just that player that's coming in.
I disagree with it because Higgy's been doing it all season, whereas Leyritz did it in the playoffs. I mean, it was great, but Leyritz wasn't that. He wasn't that guy in the playoffs.
Or even last year, Trent Grisham, he went on that kind of little run of hitting home runs in the
Austin
postseason.
Austin Nola would have been a better.
Sure, Austin Nola
but we talk about it. These short series. I mean, 3-game series, 5-game series, even a 7-game series. You need that one guy, 1 or 2 guys that you just don't expect. It's not always the superstars that are going to do it. Although, I'd have to go a co-MVP here. I'm sorry, Fernando is just money the whole series. Come on, I mean
that home run. Okay,
but the 2 home runs that Higgy hit. Don't get me wrong.
Let's give Higgy his flowers.
The 2 home runs he hit, no doubt about it. But more to me was how he handled the pitching staff, and we could probably thank our lucky stars that he noticed what was going on with Musgrove. He was the guy that said, "I got to go out there. There's something going on." And Musgrove even said, kind of like, "Yeah, I'm kind of glad, I guess, that Higgy came out there because I was pitching through it and everything." The thing I found about, and not to get too off track, but I did hear a quote from Musgrove that his elbow's been bothering him for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, has it?
So
he's been playing through it.
So he's been fighting through it. And while I love the tenacity, I love the grit and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, come on. Honestly, athletes have to be honest with their trainers, their managers. They got to be honest because while you may, think I'm going to tough it out and get through it. What if he would have gone out there and gotten killed, and given a bunch of runs, and then you find out, oh well, he's had a bulking elbow for a couple of weeks, but he was trying to fight through it. We would have been the first ones to go out there and say, what were you thinking? It's not the Joe show. It's the Padres.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
he was pitching. I mean,
he pitched extremely well.
Well, thankfully, my point being, what if he did?
I agree with what you're saying, but it's just like I didn't know he's been bothering for a couple weeks.
A big development that just dropped, folks. A bit of baseball news related to the Padres. Mr. Ha-Seong Kim has elected to hire the Scott Boras Corporation to represent him.
Yeah, he'll be gone.
Bye.
He'll be gone.
I think that's it.
Yeah, they're not going to sign him to a long-term contract. Well, he's going to have surgery in the off season.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I like him, but again, I've said before, his baseball IQ is not always there, especially when it comes to base running. Again, I would if we could keep him at a reasonable price.
Yeah,
but I think hiring Boras basically means you're not going to get him for a good reason.
My take on that, guys, is it's funny how a year and a half maybe ago we would have said that's an irreplaceable piece.
Yeah,
easily, right? Now you look at this team without him, and you're like, really?
I miss his defense a little. Like Bogarts is a shortstop.
But is it irreplaceable anymore?
No.
So, and that's the thing about being deep as a team, and we're going to say the same thing. We get the off season and these questions come about, long-term contracts, Profar, you got, Higgy, Higgy's not on contract next year. Yeah. You got Cease and Arise are both one more year. You're going to have just like every year, you're going to get a little turmoil. And look, in the history of baseball, I don't think anybody's ever come back with the same 25-man roster they had the year before. So, something's going to happen. Some of these pieces are going to fall by the wayside. You're going to get new guys coming in. So.
But to your point, there's a core there, right? And now with Merrill, like you extend that core, and then you got Salas and DeVries, like. And
that's the big thing, isn't it, Jay? Because now your farm system has applied a player that you're going to have, if he keeps performing like this, especially for 4 or 5 more years, without having to go the long-term route. Now, eventually you will, of course.
Yes.
We've talked about that before. I think that whether it's after next year or maybe the 3rd year, that's when you start saying, okay, we'll buy your 3 years of arbitration, and, we want to give you a 10-year contract. And we'll be better suited for it, because then you'll have guys like Machado and
Tatis
and Bogarts. Thank you, Jack. Those guys will be further down the line in their contract. So now you can start saying, okay, we can layer over that and pass that.
You stagger it. Because
you can start staggering, because that's what we're doing right now. We don't have much stagger. It's pretty much everybody starts at the same place, and it's all to 2033.
Pretty with those 3.
But by then though, you build your farm system up. You trade for younger players. Like I'm not saying Preller is going to be here in 10 years.
Yeah.
But his history is he's always been able to find talent.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd still prefer us to be able to find another Merrill. I mean, that's a stupid statement, I know, but
yes.
But we need some farm guys to actually develop and actually come through for us.
Your faithful thing, Phil.
Yeah, I know, cheap tape, and
it's not meant to be on a wall. It's meant to be
flown around. I gotta tell you, man, I might have some right elbow impingement myself after that.
You got an MRI going?
By the 3rd inning, I was doing it left-handed.
Hey, that means they gave you enough things to cheer for. All right, let's talk about Fernando Tatis Jr. had himself a great series. Talk about being locked. He was locked in yesterday too.
Oh no, we're better without him, according to some.
Yeah, exactly. We're better without him. Unreal.
That first home run swing was ridiculous.
So
he left his feet, for crying out loud. He was swinging so hard.
So what was that like in person? Because on TV it looked like the place literally exploded.
Did you see it land?
Yes, I saw it land, and I'm going to be the perfectly honest guy here. When he first hit it, I thought it was too high. Like, oh crap, that's just gonna float down to the infield. And you guys have been there. It was that time of night where it's like I could not pick up the ball until I saw the second deck of stands all putting their hands up to catch the ball, and I'm like, holy crap, that was way up there. I mean, out there, but way up there.
Yeah,
because it was really, really high. Yeah. And then you see the replay, and I'm a golf fan, it looked like Scotty Scheffler hitting a drive, man.
Sure.
The feet were moving all over the place, and it's just, he crushed it. No, he crushed it. He was, and that's there was the advantage, right? They had to bring up a guy that only had 7 career starts, and he did the biggest mistake you could make to TCs is throw him a fastball right down the middle, like
a 94 center cut. Like,
well, and it's funny, Jay, when I was the first thing I looked at the first couple of pitches is what's this guy got. And when I saw the first 2 pitches were 93 and 92, I'm like, oh, we're going to hammer this guy. Honestly, if that's all he's got, because veteran pitchers can pitch 92, 93, get away with it, throw, the slider, the curve, and all that. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about this guy, but I doubt if he's that wily, and, I'm glad we won, but I feel for the kid to be put in that position.
Oh, that's an impossible position.
7 career starts, and hey, you're going to start the first game on a road with 47,000+ fans screaming.
Hostile,
and then Arise give Arise credit for making the at bat long the first one and using up a lot of pitches. It was huge because you get to see a lot of pitches.
Exactly. We'd like to see him take a walk every now and then.
But here's the thing: like I don't think Tatis
3-2.
Well, no, he swung at a ball though. It was like,
no, I get that, but I'm saying I don't think Tatis knows that he's throwing mid-90s fastball if Arise doesn't, at least.
Well, that was my point too. It's more of like, what's the location? Is he hitting center cut? Is he hitting corners?
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about Tatis guesses on pitches. What's good. He said I figured he had to show his fastball. Right. Get it look. And he goes, I figured he was going to throw a fastball, and obviously. I mean, I was sitting by my computer.
He said he was swinging fastball before he threw the pitch. That was like, he was already.
I'm sitting on my computer. My wife's on her side of the bed. She's watching something. I'm watching the game like this, and I go, "Holy crap!" I was cleaning it up, and she goes, "What?" I go, "I think he hit it out of the stadium." It was because right away it's like boom, and it's like, and the camera. You say that time they couldn't really pick up the ball either. Yeah. But like you said, you see where all the fans are standing up. You go, oh my God,
I thought it was going to hit the scoreboard just the way it just.
Yeah, it was. It was out there, that's for sure.
Because I had just texted you guys, we got to get some early runs off this guy. Take down his confidence, and I go, boom! I go, holy crap!
That'll do. That'll do.
Well, and to me, it prefaces, when we go to the next series, just how important it is to score first. I mean,
yeah.
And 2-run homer really does it, because it's like if you're on the opposing bench and you're facing any kind of a quality pitcher, which the Braves would tell you, the first one would tell you, it's like, of course King's a quality pitcher. You're sitting there going, crap, now we have to score at least 3.
Yep.
Crap. You get out to 1 run, and you're like, oh yeah, but now we've got to score 3 runs against one of the guys who's been on a roll in the second half. Nobody will ever admit it, nor should they, should they voice it. But internally, you got to be going, crap, because I know that feeling. You get behind in any kind of a quality game, and you're like, oh man, we got to score 3 runs. Holy crap,
against that pitcher, it's
right like, against that kind of a pitcher.
If it's a guy that's been shaky all season, you go, okay, yeah, he's been shaky. We just have to chip away. But King has just been amazing. Just amazing.
And you felt the same way with Atlanta. And look, there's 2 things I want to say. Number one, that Michael Harris II is a ball player, man. Holy crap! I've liked him for a long time, but man, that guy's just a quality.
I wish he would have kept his preseason, his postseason stats going, because he was 1 for 27 coming into the series.
He nearly single-handedly.
They could not get him out, man. And that guy's just got a quality swing.
And then you see him give the ball to a Padre fan in the outfield.
And I was going to say, Jack, I'm going to figuratively take my hat off to the Atlanta fans. Talk about class fans. There was a post on Twitter from Padres Nation that said, hey, good luck in your future. We know you had it hard. And I'm not kidding. Hundreds of Atlanta fans came on there and said, hey, thanks. You guys are a great team. And go Padres, because they hate LA.
Yeah.
I mean, about 50% of them were like, and go beat LA because we can't stand them. So,
well, we benefited a big time from the doubleheader.
But the doubleheader was of the Braves' own design. The Braves designed that to do that. They could have played those games ahead of time instead of having to wait for the last 2 games of the
or
season.
you could
to do
have
the
a
doubleheader.
commissioner that's not weak kneed and
Yeah.
basically does nothing because, again, I said it last time, they could have easily just gone to Texas where somebody's not playing
Exactly.
and played 2 games there.
I said I said the week that
Yeah.
they knew the storm was coming. Why don't they just move the games? Petco wasn't being used.
But the thing is, and this is on the Braves. The Braves didn't want to miss out on the revenue.
Yeah.
Their stadium.
Yeah. So
I get it, but
but tell me this: would the Braves rather have lost that revenue, but maybe gained playoff revenue because they had home games eventually? Like,
but I also think it's a reach to say that the only reason we beat the Braves is because they were tired.
No.
We're the better team.
Oh,
we are the better team, and I'll say it. I know we're gonna get to the Dodgers. We are the better team. We are the better team. I truly believe
those
that.
things. Maybe those things are true, but I'm not saying them.
No, look, I'm not one of their ball players. I'm not, nobody's listening to me, from the Dodger. Max Muncy isn't watching our podcast, and if you are, Max, how you doing?
You don't.
No. Max Muncy, if you're watching, go to hell. All right.
Yeah. but no,
hey, Max Muncy,
it's been talked about a lot. This is the better team in baseball. We have all 3 elements that you need, and I think we're the only team that can say that. I really, truly believe that. We have the best bullpen, along with the Guardians. We have the best starting staff, and I think we have the best all-around 1 to 9 lineup. So, yeah.
We shall see. I think we do have a good
we may
team.
see and we may not see. The bottom line is you can be the best Dodgers for many years and not win anything. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's where I'm just like, I'm not going to say nothing. Yeah. I'm not going to say nothing at all.
You guys are way too worried about if I say you're like the announcers, like Don Orsillo said. I call it as I see it. If it's a no-hitter going, I call it a no-hitter.
Yeah, and what happened after the next pitch? I think
he says that's my job, and it was Eckersley who taught him that and said, "No, like you say it. That's your job is to announce to the audience what's going on." He said that, and Dennis Eckersley, who's a pitcher, said that. Like, that means nothing.
Because those are sensible, reasonable people. Okay.
I forgot. I'm dealing with you two.
Yeah, you're dealing with 2 nonsensible people.
Of course, Eckersley gave up a big home run to Kirk Gibson that cost him the World Series. That's
also a great sport about it. There's this movie they play at Cooperstown, and it's like different baseball moments, and they did the Kirk Gibson home run. Yeah, and Eckersley is like recounting the experience and laughing about it and stuff. And like, if it was me, I was like, I'd never want to watch that film again. But he's been a good sport about it. But
also with the Braves, I think if the Braves were healthy, they probably wouldn't have been in the wild card position.
Phillies were good this year.
When you miss by 8 games, man, that's a stretch. I probably agree with you, Jack. If it was, I get it, but it's no small sum. Strider. But that's an 8 or 9 games. That's a lot of ifs. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Look, so the same thing about the Padres, right? But we were even closer. But look, the Dodgers had a lot of injuries. We had a lot of injuries. Baseball's 162 games, and it's about depth. And the teams that typically make the playoffs are either one of the luckiest teams that maybe had a couple of minor injuries, didn't have much go wrong at all, or very deep teams that find a way to cover the tracks of guys that are missing. We got to give shout outs to guys like Waldron and Martin Perez and even Randy Vasquez and guys like that who came up and pitched some solid games for us.
Yeah.
Were they perfect? No. But without those guys, we weren't in the playoffs. We weren't there, so we'd probably be singing a different tune, quite honestly, if we were 3 games out and saying, "Oh, it was all the injuries because of that and everything." But again, the Dodgers are the best example of it. I got to give them credit. Their pitching staff has been shambles all year long, and yet they won a measly They won a measly 98 wins. Yeah,
because they have a big
best
offense.
record in baseball. Best record in baseball.
Exactly. So.
I do want to call out that they switched the order. Originally it was to be Jack Flaherty game 1, and for game 1, it is now going to be a Yoshinobu Yamamoto is now going to start game 1, and Jack Flaherty will start game 2. Friedman, he said the reason they did this was Yamamoto's not he needs normal rest or more. Flaherty can go on less rest, so that tees up Flaherty for game 5 if they need him.
Okay, how much rest do these guys need?
Well, Yamamoto.
So are they talking about if
they're
they
saying
need
game 5? Yeah, so if Yamamoto goes first, Yamamoto can't pitch on short rest, so that Flaherty can. So I think they're trying to tee up Flaherty for game 5.
Because Yamamoto's only been going like 4 or 5 innings.
Well, then why would you not pitch? Okay, I guess I don't understand. Why would you not pitch Flaherty first?
I pick him first.
Give him the full rest, and then Yamamoto just pitch one game.
This is the Dave Roberts move. Because I'm like Jerry.
Why would Dave Roberts do that?
But because he makes stupid decisions. I mean, I'm like Jerry.
Dave Roberts overthinks a lot of decisions.
If
Friedman's not going to allow him to do that if it's a bad. I think it's a Friedman decision. Why would
no?
You trust Rob? Like if I was Friedman, I would not trust Roberts' instincts on the playoffs.
Well, he's still their manager.
He's just still their manager. I mean, but the reasoning doesn't make. I'm like Jerry. The reasoning doesn't make sense. Why would you put him on the second game with less rest? I pitch him the first game.
Yeah.
So he could possibly pitch the 5th game if necessary. I don't get it.
I think they're doing us a favor. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
We beat the crap out of Yamamoto the last time we played him. So
2 times.
Beat him Flaherty is a quality pitcher. I don't think Flaherty is what I would classify as an ace. And I'm going to be fair. I don't think many of our pitchers are the same. Like I'm not going to put them up there with like an Austin Nola or a Zach Wheeler or a Corbin Burns or Tariq Skubal, guys like that. Those guys are shut down starters.
Yes,
I think we have tier 2, and I think we have more of them, and that's where Flaherty is to me. That's where Cease is. That's where Musgrove is. Darvish when he's healthy. That's that tier 2 pitchers. I'm not saying that like Michael King looks like he's on his way to being a tier 1 pitcher.
Yes.
I mean, I really truly believe that, not just because of the last outing. I've just seen this guy just grow and grow and grow.
Plus his confidence level is just amazing.
Yeah, and he's stretching out and everything. By the way, Milwaukee just got a home run. So
okay, in what inning?
You know what? It's
bottom of the 7th.
Is it bottom 7th? Yeah. I think it was just a solo shot, but they have the typical great TV coverage. They don't show the scoreboard for nothing.
It was a pinch hit home run from Bowers.
Yeah. But
okay, so this is the pitching change puts. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I just Flaherty doesn't scare me. I'm not saying he couldn't have a great game, but he doesn't scare me. It's not like the days of Randy Johnson or Greg Maddux or Justin Verlander when he was at his peak, where you go, oh crap, we've lost the first game. Like let's just tell them they're going to win the first game. Okay, now what are we going to do? 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
Yeah, and look, I still like our setup right now. They go back to back. They just went back to back. Milwaukee.
Oh dang!
Yeah,
they just went back to back.
Oh, good for them. Sorry for the Mets, though.
Frelick.
Well, as much as I hate the Mets, I kind of wanted them to win because there's this scenario that said if the Padres beat the Dodgers and the Mets beat the Phillies, we'd be the home field.
But we had home field for the last time we went to the NL Championship, and it didn't work out so well. I don't like the home field in the 7-game set because we kind of got screwed on that, where it was 2 in San Diego, then it was 3 in Philly.
Yeah,
and I feel like that didn't work out too well for us.
I was on
a ship.
Because and
Yeah,
actually I
was on a boat.
um
Watching at 2:00 in the morning with my eyes half open. Yeah.
I was trying to watch it, but the internet was so bad. I go, I don't know what's going on.
but
I mean, don't you guys think? Look, you go back to years past. Clayton Kershaw scared you.
Not the playoffs.
Walker Buehler would scare you.
Yeah,
you see those guys. Dustin May scared the bejesus out of me.
Gosh.
The guys.
That's a guy.
He is their Michael King. He really is. He's their Michael King. The guy that's just the ball just moves everywhere. Right?
That's a guy I feel really bad for because he has great stuff and he's already on his second Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
he burnt his esophagus or something crazy like that.
But but they don't. But the Dodgers don't have now. Now what the Dodgers do have, and of course, old news. Sorry, but they got that 3 lineup. With Ohtani and Betts and Freeman.
Now, how's Freeman doing?
Yeah. I don't know health wise.
Last time we saw him, he was limping off the field.
Yeah. So he's had a week to recuperate. I haven't heard, and you probably won't hear until game time.
I'm tracking this Dodger Blue Twitter page to find out more about the Yamamoto thing, or what do they say? So Freddie Freeman took a live at bat. If they're doing a sim game today, and then, but who's not participating in the sim game? Mr. Mookie Betts is not. He is sitting out the sim game. He did take fly balls in right field, but
what's wrong with Mookie Betts?
I don't know.
I doubt if anything's wrong with them.
I
look. What the bottom line is this is the way the Padres are going to handle it anyway. You go to the park and you assume that everybody's going to be 100%, and you're going to be playing these guys in their best condition. Anything different than that, then oh well. But
I just found what it was with Mookie Betts. He wants to force a trade to the Padres.
All right. Well, historically, our career statistics versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's only 2 games.
Yep.
But
still good.
Xander Bogaerts 250 average. Jake Cronenworth 333. Elias Diaz did this with the Rockies, a 1,000. Manny Machado 500. Merrill Profar 0, Tatis 1,000, and Tyler Wade over 300. So we hit him well.
You just have to lay off.
I mean, it's a very small sample size, though. 21. Come on.
Sure,
come on. Yeah.
You have to lay off his junk, and you have to. His fastball is just straight.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do. But I think the key, because we're going to be facing all right-handed starters. Excuse me. Is Cronenworth has to figure out what he's doing wrong. And get it in gear. He'd be very helpful, and you might want to play Peralta. Maybe have him. DH.
I don't think we're going to see him.
You don't think so?
No. Look, there's a time during the season, Jack, and you're right. You got to give a Rise a day off, and nobody's getting days off now.
No, I don't think a Rise. You put a Rise at first. And
you're saying it's because it's I think you put Peralta in lefties and then Solano in for righties.
Yeah, but you can't do that without taking a Rise out.
No, you have a Rise be DH, or you have a Rise at first and then you have Peralta be DH.
Yeah.
What?
I'm saying so it's what they were doing towards the end of the season, where if it was a lefty pitcher, Peralta would be in the Solano role as DH, and then you have a Rise at first. And then if it's a right-handed pitcher, you have a Rise.
You're not going to see that, guys. I mean, I'm not the manager, but you're not going to see that. I would be shocked. I don't think they can afford the defense. They can't.
Okay. That's fair.
Is Solano that much better at defense than Rise at first?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
They're both short.
An infielder around the infield. He's played every position in the infield for years.
I get it, but they both don't have a lot of range.
We don't have a real first baseman, and the alternative is to take our best second baseman and put him back at first.
I don't want to do that. I like Trone at second base.
Yeah.
All right, let's. But here's the thing. Oh, you're muted yourself.
Yeah.
This is great, actually.
That was nice. Oh, well, we had a moment.
Oh, we lost him. He removed himself.
We had a moment there.
It was nice there for a second. No, he muted himself. What are you doing over there?
I got it. I just be quiet.
He got button happy.
I
gosh.
choked it. I had my moment in the sun and I choked it.
All right, let's but here's the thing. If we can hit Yamamoto well, and because really in my going into it, it's almost the same kind of game plan that we had the last time we faced him in the NLDS. You split one in LA, like you at least take one in LA.
You have to take one in LA.
You have to take one, and then you can close it out and you can close it out at home. You win the 2 games at home because it's 2 in LA, 2 in San Diego, and then if there is a 5th, it's back in LA. And
you can just sweep.
Well, sure, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Well, why not? It'd be easier on my heart.
No, I got to tell you guys, I'm not into the jinxes or anything like that, but I've never been so confident in a team. I just think they're playing lights out right now, and I think it's not
first time.
The reason I'm confident, the reason I'm confident is they're the best team in the major leagues in the second half.
They are.
That's not just some 10.
The Dodgers are like second or third, so it's not like they're
but that's
a
not
bad
like a 10-game stretch. Things like but the Dodgers had the easiest schedule and one of the easiest schedules in the second half too.
True. That's true.
No, I mean, look, I think we've got the right amount of swagger. I think we got the right amount of confidence. I think that we've shown that there's nothing that can get us down. This is a team that's come from 8 runs down, from 4 runs down, 2 runs down, late inning, all that kind of stuff. I look at all the elements we have and what we didn't have last year. We have a back of the lineup that can actually get things started. We got, surprises right and left of guys who just come up and knock one out of the park.
We have a kid that's loaded with confidence.
Yeah. I just really believe in this team. I've never felt this way. And even the 98 team is like, is our starting pitching going to be good enough and everything? Well, the Musgrove, if the Musgrove thing puts a damper on it, then that takes away a little bit of the assuredness that I have because Joe is pitching lights out, and now you've got 4 guys that you can go out there. But I'm going to tell you right now, you go through it right now, you're going to have Cease, you're going to have Darvish, then you're going to have King.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, if we need a game 4, Martin Perez has got my confidence. That guy pitched solid for us.
Too much Morton disagrees with you, though.
Yeah.
He said he's worried about his 5th or something like that.
Yeah, he thinks that they should do a bullpen game.
For
and I'm like, I hate bullpen
no, you can't wear out your bullpen on game 4.
I agree. You tell that to too much Mortons.
Look, all you have to do, there's too much of this. We're going to call it a bullpen game. Martin Perez is a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know what, you've got him on a shorter leash than you have anybody else. So if he starts scuffling in the second inning, okay, well, now it's turned into a bullpen game. But to sit there and say, it's going to be a bullpen game, no. Because you know
like what the Braves did to us, yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? I think that gets you in trouble. Look at what happened to the Braves, having to use all those relievers and all that kind of stuff. And, if you've got a really, really good bullpen, that's to your advantage. But if you've just got an okay bullpen, you're just waiting for the wrong bullet to come out.
I agree with you 100%. I was shocked you said it because people were like, no, because Perez has pitched well for us. Again, it's
very well.
It's the playoffs. You can take it. I mean, look what you can take. Okay, all right, he's getting up a walk and a hit. We got to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Short leash. Yeah, that's
short
fair.
leash.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is
he's
coming,
and he's a veteran. He's not a rookie. So
okay.
It's
all right. So okay. It is a 5-game series. If it goes the distance, does it end on Thursday? Like, will it be done by the time we
it goes Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay. Yeah. So potentially our next episode, the series could have concluded, or we'll
be talking about whether we're playing the Phillies or the Brewers. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Jerry has all the confidence.
If you're a gambler out there, Jerry says, "Go bet your house." Just bet the house of the Padres.
Hold on, Jerry. So you're saying 3-0? Like it's sweep?
I think we sweep.
Woo! Oh gosh, Oz is on your side.
It doesn't make it true, and it doesn't make it right. But that's the way I feel. I just feel like we match up with these guys. We match up very well with these guys.
All right, you called your shot 3-0.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you think?
I say the Padres in 4.
Padres in 4. I was gonna go Padres in 4 as well. I was like split in LA, close it at home.
I like Jerry's better.
Yeah.
Because like again, if Cease is on, and if you get some production from Bogarts and Cronenworth, who have just been scuffling.
Cronenworth went 0-12 in the 2022 wild card series, and then had series of his life against the Dodgers.
But his
following, so maybe that's the same thing.
His swing is just a mess right now.
Oh, it is. It doesn't look good.
I mean, he's just. I mean, it's
Bogarts too. They both look lost.
Yeah,
everybody else look great. They both look lost.
Again, Bogarts. I'm going back to Bogarts. I said early in the season, he lets the good pitches go by, and then he's got 0-2 count, and he's got to swing at the pitcher's pitch. I mean, it's
so I'm going to call it. It's Bogarts and Cronenworth are co-MVPs of the NLCS.
All right,
I love it.
You guys, I gotta say, you guys, your negativity and your like stress levels are killing me.
It's not. Am I being negative that Cronenworth is? He's probably my favorite Padre, one of my favorite Padres. But his swing, he's been swinging terrible.
It's not a swing; it's a selection of pitches to swing.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. That's fair too, and that's why I say with Bogarts, I go, Jesus.
But sometimes sometimes you just don't see the ball well, and then you come around and every one of the players that we love that have been doing well have had periods where Manny Machado, I remember about a month there, was like, man, what is he swinging at everything outside? He was doing Steve Garvey on us.
Well, yes, I mean,
just throw him a curveball a foot outside and he'll swing at it with 2 strikes.
Well, last night, bases loaded, nobody out. I go, the only thing that can happen here is he strikes out. I don't care if he hits to a double play.
Okay, we need to close this thing out. But this is the thing. Here's the deal. No joke. I think that this show is great because we have Jerry's positivity, Jack's negativity, and I feel like I'm at least a little bit in between.
Wait, should we read your text from yesterday? I want a 7-1 lead if Suarez comes in.
Oh my gosh, so Suarez is coming in. Oh my
Suarez makes me nervous.
It's over.
We're not
Jack's can we score 10 more runs, please? You guys are killing me.
That's why we have you here, Jerry. It's why we have you here.
Okay, you wouldn't want the Padres to score 10 more runs to make it easier.
Hey, look, I'm not just being euphoric. I think that my prediction is because of playing the Dodgers. I think we do match up very well against them. That is no way intended as a slight at the Dodgers. They are a really good team. I just think our matchup is better. The big key to this is the bottom of their lineup. If you can hold the bottom of their lineup so that when Ohtani and Betts and Freeman come up, you've got nobody on. I said the same thing. That's why Michael Harris II made me nervous, is because he was table setting for the guys like Ozuna and Olsen and Solar.
Yeah.
And I think we got a little lucky on that because it wasn't his fault that they didn't score runs because he kept setting the table. Yeah. But Albies not being able to hit left-handed hurt them. And
I give him credit going in against right hands.
Yeah. I mean, and that's typical Ozuna. Ozuna can go 0 for 16 and then hit 3 home runs the next game, Yeah. But here we go, man. Here we go.
See how it goes. Should be a fun series. Oz, Jay, even I don't agree with your stance. No, it's fine. I respect that.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah.
That will do it for this episode of Padres Talking Padres. We'll be back here next Thursday. Will we be euphoric because we've slayed the dragon, or will we be stressed because there'll be a game 5 to follow? We'll see what happens. Will Jerry be right? Will Jack or I be right? We'll have to wait and see.
I'm rooting against myself.
But one thing is for certain. Go Padres. Let's go.
Hey, any one of us being right is good with me.
Yes. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Go Padres.
Go Padres.
Padres.